Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
What if this whole time we just sing Country Road? Is that anything?
What if God was one of us? You know
God.
what I mean?
It's been so long.
No, I've thought about doing it, but I think it was best to just hold off, you know?
Just let
Because
that
it was
one
overdone
simmer.
a little bit. Yeah, just let it, you gotta make them want it, you know?
But what if I didn't want it, though?
Them was me in that situation. I wanted it. And the
you.
people. Everyone but you in this scenario.
The royal them. Got it.
Yes, yeah. yeah.
Got it.
I do want nothing more than just for us to sing country. It's stuck in my head all the time.
Maybe that's just our bonus, Jonas, this month.
It's just a karaoke sesh for
Right.
TikTok songs.
Oh, God. What I would give.
What if, hear me out, we're all in quarantine, we're all just trying to pick up new hobbies or whatever to fill the void. Everyone's trying to learn TikTok dances while they're, because they got all this time now. What if we just started doing TikTok dances?
Oh my God.
I think we would both, like, break our hips or something.
It's true. Like, my knees already pop in and out when I'm just, like, sitting. I don't need this. But can I... Hi, welcome into the Twilight. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Hello. It's a TikTok podcast.
Hi, like, welcome to your distraction from the world for an hour. Sit back. It's about nothing that is happening in the world, and you're welcome. Right. Can I tell you a story that the TikTok dances remind me of?
I wish you would.
Okay. So this is, I don't know why, but so something about everyone being in lockdown and doing these dances really unlocked this memory for me. And I can't say that it was like a good one, but particularly like in 6th grade, and I will say 6th grade was like my bad bitch phase.
I peaked.
I really did. Like, I will say, like,
what characteristics about you made you like top tier in 6th grade? Who was that woman? Who was she?
Well, so I will say, like, I got my period in 4th grade. I was like fully developed by 6th grade. Like, I was as tall as I am now in 6th grade. So I was like teacher tall.
Yeah.
And like boobs out, butt out in 6th grade. Like, me with these motherfuckers, and I was like anyways, bad bitch. Bad bitch.
Yeah.
With
powerful
like
energy.
All this Claire's jewelry and like a hoodie and a jean skirt and like etnies.
Ooh.
Bad bitch face.
Right.
Anyways, so the big thing at this time with my group of friends was to like rehearse dances, and like the thing that my group of friends at this time at my school was going to do was to do a dance for the talent show. And me, wanting nothing more than attention from everyone, was like, yes, perfect. Now, here's the problem. Bitch can't dance. So the nice thing was that we were doing 1-2 step by Sierra, so like it's not that bad. But my other group of friends at this time, my sports friends, also loved to at this time to look at like hip hop videos and do the same thing at home. And one of the most traumatic things at this time was we were staying the night at each other's houses, and they wanted to follow the choreography of one of Usher's songs at this time from the music video. And I could not, for the life of me, figure it out. And they were like, my two friends at this time were like, okay, well, we're going to leave you here and we're going to go play video games, but you have to stay in here and figure out this choreography until you get it right. And I've never felt so alone in my entire life. And that
is brutal. Because, like, the worst possible thing that could happen to you as a 6th grader is to get publicly shamed. You know what I mean? Real. Like, that is cut. And especially is because it's like, oh, you can't do something, and we all got it, and you're not cool, so you gotta, like, be by yourself to practice it until you get it. That is brutal.
It was so bad.
Brutal.
Yep. And that is when I learned to not trust anyone, and it's better to be by yourself.
And that's when I became a lone wolf.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
I became Jacob Black.
Yeah, it was rough stuff, boys.
Yeah, maybe that's why, also, besides the fact that you thought Taylor Lautner was hot, but, like, even before then, projecting a lot of your feelings onto Jacob Black.
Okay, alright. Alright, I gotta go. Listen, at least it was, like, we were at their house, like, but right. Still.
It was, like, in front of the whole school or something.
But it was, like, do you know that TikTok of that, like, white girl who was just, like, crying and doing the choreography, like, that TikTok? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes. It
was just, like, me doing that in, like, it had to have been earlier than 6th grade. Maybe it was 5th grade, because it was like when the Yeah music video came out. It was just me in this girl's living room with, like, a desktop computer, like the Dell desktop computer. Just me in this girl's living room, waiting for fucking dial-up, right? Watching the Yeah music video going over and over again, trying to figure out this choreography so that I could follow my two friends at this time, and just being like, I have to figure this out. You gotta figure this out. Yeah. And just, like, really doing the damn thing. Anyways, I will never do a TikTok dance because it's very traumatic for me. So anyways, I'm great. How are you, Cody?
I'm, what if I just stop? I got nothing. Sorry, smooth brain, no thoughts, head empty. Just nothing going on in here. I haven't thought a thought in months.
Honestly, I feel that.
I'm fine.
I think... Here's what I think that we should do. We should come up with a name for COVID-19 that we can say.
Yeah.
So that instead of you having to bleep it out, we can say it without having to, like, say it.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I do like the Ronies.
I do like the Ronies, too.
I do like the Ronies. There's a charm to the Ronies,
I was thinking something more along our brand, personally.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, in place of just saying, like, coronavirus or COVID or anything like that, we just say Newton. Or, like, Fig Newton.
Sure. It's been a minute,
I think so, too.
Since Mike Newton has been in the Rolodex,
I agree.
That's good. And yeah, I do. I love that we just, like, negotiated safe words right now. That feels very on brand with us.
I also just want to let you all know how much I love you all and how much I respect Cody as both my business partner and also my boss, ? I
thought you were going to say bitch.
No, never. As my boss, ? I don't really do well with authority. That every time that I have to cough, I'm just muting my microphone. Because if it's not clear just by, like, the energy that I'm bringing to the space, I'm, like, low-key dying. Can't tell if I have the Newtons or anything. But we'll just, like, play it by ear.
TBD, you know?
We'll just see.
Figuring it out.
Anyways, gonna try and not bring it up just because, like, this is your distraction. This is your hour away from the news.
Right.
Like, we're gonna bring you that hard-hitting news, but it has nothing to do with, like...
Yeah, the news people actually fucking care about, alright?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with, like, elections or anything.
Yeah.
But we do have some current events. They're, like, really hard-hitting, and you're gonna hear them here first. So, Cody, the first one really pertains to your brand. And also, I think almost all of these have to do with Robert Pattinson today. But this first
corner, baby.
For real. This first one in particular, though, has a lot to do with your side of the news. Can you enlighten us with what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, we're here with some breaking Hollywood news from RepublicWorld.com. Robert Pattinson's High Life script was just 30 pages. And more interesting trivia about the movie.
Wow.
Super great. I love the idea of a script being 30 pages long. Because, again, he doesn't talk really ever during that movie. There's not a lot of speaking.
I just love the idea that, like, I know that it's probably just that it was, like, short, but I do love the idea of Claire Denis, instead of rewriting stuff, she was just, like, instead of saying silence or, like, play with Bibi, she was just, like, see page 2. Like, right. It was just, like, a choose your own adventure kind of thing.
I would love that, and also would not question that, even a little bit.
I believe in it wholeheartedly.
Oh, there's another fun fact here, that because Robert was so nervous to meet Claire Denis, he studied Wikipedia articles on string theory and black holes to prepare for their first encounter, and tried to rationalize a reason why his character would not age while traveling in deep space.
I love that.
What a fucking nerd. I love him.
I love a well-studied man.
I love one man.
I do love one man.
Okay, Harry Styles also exists too. I love two men.
I also love 40, the actor that plays...
okay, there's a couple men.
I love a handful of men.
Yeah,
only.
Just a small gaggle of men. That's just...
I love a tea party of men.
Yeah, a tiny township of men. That's enough.
According to the CDC, I love less than 10 men.
Right.
And they're all 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
But that's how I prefer people to be anyways, so...
Right, come on.
Yes, that's beautiful. I know that this is an auditory podcast, and I know that you hate when I do this. However, can you tell me about Republic World's visual component in this article, please?
So, there's a fun little photo here. One could believe that this was a still from High Life.
You could.
If it, got lost at sea, maybe eroded over time. Lost at sea and then in space. Just got mind melted, got just blasted by the 2001 baby. You know how it is.
Oh my god.
Sidebar, I saw that movie for the first time in a very long time, before movie theaters were closed, in 70mm with a friend of mine, and that shit, that movie's fucking bananas, and that baby is made of nightmares.
Oh.
That's all I have to add to that.
Let's talk about nightmare babies.
So, this photo is so many layers of destroyed over time. It has a little YouTube source credit, but it's not like a caption like you would find on a website. It is inside the photograph. So this is just like a screenshot of a photo that credited YouTube from probably 5 sites over. There's 3 pixels in this image.
What it looks like to me is, for folks that are listening to this wherever you are, because I know that you are not going to this, please don't go to this website. You don't need to.
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
But if you are in a place, because I'm imagining for most of you, hopefully you are in a place where you can safely close your eyes and imagine this. Please close your eyes and imagine Robert Pattinson right? Great image. Beautiful. Great.
You're familiar.
Imagine that you are standing 6 feet away from Robert Pattinson, right? Safe distance. Great. Good. Practice that social distancing. And then imagine that between you and Robert Pattinson, there is an airplane window. Really filmy. And a little bit dirty, but like super thick. That is what this screen grab of a photo of a YouTube video is like, it's very pixelated and grainy, and like what I imagine that he looked like from space is the best way I can imagine it.
I think that's great. It's also like this specific frame too is just so beige,
and he's in motion,
and he's moving. His hand is just like just in another dimension. And it all is just, like, bleeding together. It's the worst painting I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I'm not having a great time.
But what is great, though, is our next source, which has a very high-res photo of Robert Pattinson.
Thank God. What we deserve.
Yes, it's from movieweb.com, and it is Robert Pattinson's embarrassing Twilight audition. Involved a beer gut and bad hair. I do love some good alliteration here. So we've all heard the story of Robert and Kristen during their audition together.
Yes.
Lots of kissing, lots of Catherine Hardwicke sitting in the chair getting like real excited.
Right, just jerking.
Just like really happy the whole time.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson just like recently opened up about his first audition in general for the role of Edward Cullen. And he described it as, quote, "When I turned up for the audition, I had done a job where I dyed my hair black, but I had 1.5 inches of roots and I had waxed my body. And then I had a few months where I'd been drinking beer all day, so I had this hairless, chubby body. I looked like a baby with a wig on."
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Knowing that information now.
Yeah.
Was he auditioning for the role of Charlie Swan?
'Cause it really sounds like it.
'Cause that's the fucking vibe.
But from what we know about Stephenie Meyer, she wanted him. She saw Robert and was like, "That's my Edward, and I refuse.
That's my boy."
I refuse to settle for anyone else.
Oh my gosh.
But she saw, fucking Robert walked in, this bald baby with a beer gut, and was like, "What's up, fuckers? You want me? This is it. This is what I'm giving you.
Is this the new sound you're looking for? This is it's what you're gonna get."
Yeah. Which is really weird to think about, given that is like the whole vibe that he was bringing to K-Stew when they were just doing a little smoochy during the whole situation. And that, like, that changes a lot, I guess. So thank you for your honesty and your candor, Robert.
This vulnerable space we've carved just for you.
Our last Robert-specific news today is from ET Online, who brought the very important news, but unsurprising, I think, to most of us, which is that given what's happening across the world with the Newtons, is that the Batman movie that Robert is starring in, the production has been kind of postponed.
Yeah.
Which, like, again, unsurprising, but is news nonetheless.
I guess we'll just have to fucking look at those sick car photos for a couple months.
Yeah, I guess I'll be curious if Matt Reeves posts any more information or, like, any more photos, since they'll be kind of halted for the foreseeable future, or if he'll even be, like, allowed to, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the most important of these is our Screen Rant piece for today. How do we even start this? So, welcome to the Screen Rant Corner. It's been a minute.
Welcome back, everyone.
thank you to Adrian Tyler for putting together this piece of why Twilight Breaking Dawn Baby was CGI and how it was almost worse. It is unsurprising, and I think we've talked in length at this point about Renesmee's CGI and and the baby that has been very much memed at this point that you all might know. I don't know that we've even referred to it at this point, but you all might know as Chuck Esme. But this goes into very lengthy detail about the CGI baby that was used and is talked about in quite length in the behind the scenes featurette of Twilight Forever, which we still have not watched and discussed here on the pod. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think so.
We need to do that.
Okay.
We should do that at some point. But yeah, so the one that has been memed, the one with the longer hair that has been memed and we see like Rosalie holding was, I guess, so bad that the production crew had named it Chuck Esme.
It's terrifying.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
But I guess it was so bad that like not even like the actors couldn't be around it and look comfortable. The producers said, specifically like Wick Godfrey was like, it's one of the most terrifying CGI babies to ever not be seen on film. And so
there's probably like a graveyard of like reject CGI babies from years past.
If we ever get popular enough to do a live show, I want our live show to be in the graveyard of CGI babies.
Yeah.
I feel like that is very on brand for us.
Yeah, I agree.
But they said that they decided to go with CGI instead, because they were trying to, quote, create something that was otherworldly, and because Renesmee, had to be intelligent, yet still look like a baby, but actually look like a more mature baby.
Whatever, like a baby wearing a lace front.
Yeah, exactly. It's the scariest thing. It's haunting, and I hate it. I want it. Like, it's very haunted, and I want it, but I have never wanted to be more away from something in my entire life. So I think more than anything what this reminds me of is that we need to watch Twilight Forever and get our like personal opinions on this.
Yeah.
Because, oy, it's awful. Okay. We have a question. Would you like to read it?
I sure would. This is from our unofficial intern, Taylor Browntown Lautner.
So nice of you to work during this time.
I know. Well, listen, Taylor Brown's been working from home this whole time, so we're just getting to her level, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Who asks, if you had to get a Don't Stop Believing tattoo, where would you get it?
This is such an important question.
It's like tramp stamp, obviously, right? Like that's
the first place that I went to.
Yeah, because you can't have it where someone could see it reasonably. You know what I mean? Like in public.
Well,
like ass maybe, like anything. I just, if I had one, it would have to be either the smallest thing in the world that is illegible, or it's just in a place that would not be shown on a day-to-day basis.
I do love the idea of it being on my butt cheek, though.
Butt is good. Butt is good.
I do like that.
Just, and it's, you know, it's. I think with that, it frames it very nicely, where it's like, don't stop believing. Like, you know what? Yeah, ass. Like, it reminded me how much I value life and also butts. Great.
At that point, it's like very inspirational and like it actually does the job.
Yeah, you're just a walking Pinterest board right there. You're like, you got inspirational quotes just like...
How dare you? Take that back.
What?
How dare you call me a Pinterest board? Do you know what's on those
specifically? Do you know what filth is on those things?
How dare you?
You know what they're doing on Pinterest?
So inappropriate.
Planning weddings and shit and fucking making vegan recipes.
The kind of horror that goes on those things.
God. Just vitriol.
Here's what I'll say. I think I'm gonna say affirm like a butt tattoo. Yeah. Or if I could, and I don't know how I would do this.
Is it mathematically possible?
Yeah. Because, like, it would have to be so small that, like, I don't think that it would be possible. Right. But I would get it right behind my ear.
Oh my god.
Just, like, really lean into the, like...
No.
Really lean into the, like, first tattoo out of high school bit.
Right. Just, like, the live, laugh, love.
Exactly.
Like, type of woman. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think butt is the way to go, only because, you know, the Tramp Stamp place is for a executive produced by Dick Wolf tattoo and nothing else.
Absolutely.
So, and I live by that.
Absolutely. I agree. Dick Wolf's my dad, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
It's my fucking boy.
It's true. Goddamn. Now I just have that fucking, like, Donna thing stuck in my head from Law and Order. Exactly. Give me my fucking money. Let's just reenact lines for the rest of this.
Yeah.
My lungs fucking hurt. That's all I have. Alright. Let's do this thing. These chapters were buck wild.
Yeah.
And if these 4 chapters are any indication, I mean, like, I don't like this book, but this book is weird.
Yeah. We're doing Caroline Kepner's making some choices.
Yeah, listen,
Amy's a wild gal. For sure.
Listen, Amy is, I don't know what to think about her, but I will say that I feel like she doesn't deserve Joe. Like, she is better than Joseph.
Oh, easily.
Everyone is better than Joseph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will say that more than any other time reading this book, I feel like these 2 chapters reminded me of the Britney Spears song. What's the one with Amy in it?
If You Seek Amy.
Thank you. Isn't it all about, like, doesn't it have a, like, love me, hate me kind of thing in it? And there's because there's a part in this where she's all, like, I don't know, she gives off a very, like, fuck you kind of vibe. And I kind of reminded me of that. Okay. So, anyways, previously, in the last 2 chapters, Joseph was very much fixated on his mug of piss.
His piss.
And that, folks, I wish that I could say that stopped. But I don't know that it will. No. Like, I feel like, do you remember in the 50 Shades books when we used to, like, Control F for, like, all the naughty words?
Yeah.
I feel like in this one we're going to have to Control F piss. You know what? I'm going to do it right now.
Do it.
Eat your fucking
words. Eat your fucking words.
Fuck you. I'm going to do it right now.
Fuck you.
I'm going to do it right now.
Please don't do it to him.
All right. How many... Oh, damn it. It includes pissed, too. Anyways. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay. All right. How many times do you think that she says mug?
Oh, God. In the whole book?
In the whole book.
I'm going to say, like, 50.
Oh my god, it's 49.
I'm a fucking genius. I don't know if you knew this. I'm clairvoyant. I'm the smartest person alive. I will ride on this high for years. This will sustain me. Wow, that's too many. That's too many times.
Okay. Hold on, I'm going to
Especially
see about
when all
piss.
of those are preceded by piss.
It's true. Hold on, I'm going to see about piss. I'm gonna exclude the ones that are pissed.
I'm gonna see about piss is the worst sentence
if you seek piss.
Oh no.
That really is somebody's something though.
I mean, yeah.
Fuck, I lost count. Hold on. Everyone shut up. Stop! Absolute silence. Do you know how hard it is not to count out loud?
It's like you're in like an escape room or something. And you're trying to like the clock is ticking down. You got like 15 seconds, and you're just like breathing so hard.
Okay,
just screaming.
All right.
I don't think it's worth.
It is. How many times does she say piss? Not pissed, just piss.
Just piss?
Yep.
But he probably talks about piss, like needing to piss. I'm gonna go a little higher, I think. I'm gonna say 62.
Cold.
Too
high.
Cold gives
Way
me
too
nothing.
high.
Okay, I was like, cold means nothing. Way too high?
Cold
okay.
Piss.
Okay, no, stop. How about like a 40?
Cold piss. Too
like
high.
22.
23! Wow.
Wow. Again, clairvoyant, smartest person that's ever lived.
It's true. Got it in one. Hole in one.
That long to count 23.
Stop! Do you know how similar piss and pissed look? They look so similar. They're basically the same word.
Oh, man. Yeah, I missed the old quiz corner. We gotta bring that back.
Okay, so chapter 3 starts. They're at this place. Joseph talks about it. He's like, we stop at Dell's Lemonade. Like, we're supposed to know what that is.
You know.
And he starts talking about these lemon slushies. And folks, it's mid-March here. It's like 50 degrees. It's freezing out. I'm under like 5 blankets right now because I cannot stay warm to save my life. I have never wanted a slushie more in my whole life.
Dude,
than I did reading this.
So it is, nothing about, like, Caroline Kepner's, I guess, this is the best thing that she's, like, the thing that she could write the best about. Because I was like, I want to eat this right the fuck now. Nothing, like, every section she's written, I'm like, this is poor. Like, I'm not having a great time. I don't feel hot and sexy, it's doing nothing for me. But bring up this fucking slushy situation, and I'm like, okay, Caroline.
Yeah, and she doesn't even go into, like, a hard description of it, but something about it really...
Just the aura. Just
really hit for me at that moment. Anyways, I don't know what it is about the characters that we read about. Something about the men that we study really like going into the middle of nowhere to find food and wanting to fuck the people that they're with on tables. Because Joseph is like, Amy, I want to fuck you on this table right now. And then Christian Grey, when he was with Anna at IHOP, also wanted to do the same thing. And I don't know. And honestly, Bella probably wanted to fuck Edward when she was eating that mushroom ravioli. To be fair.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what that is because, and maybe this is just a me thing, but like when I'm eating, all I can focus Like, I don't have the mental capacity to focus on anything other than eating at that moment. Like, nothing, food does not make me...
I'm trying to get sustenance, alright? I need nutrients.
I have the mental capacity to focus on talking to someone and ordering and then eating. Like, I can't fuck during that time. No. No. Knock that off. Anyways, Joseph starts talking about Beck during this time for some reason.
And for so long.
And one of the things that he talks about as like a compliment to Amy is he's like, she doesn't interrupt me to tell her own story or slip into a jealous rant. She listens to me and she is a sponge. And ladies, that's what it means to be a real partner for your man.
You gotta be a sponge.
That's what men are really looking for, is to be a sponge.
Take in all of their shit and don't give anything back.
They don't want you.
Just absorb it. It's yours now.
They don't want you to interrupt them or talk about your life.
Or talk at all, actually.
Or talk at all.
Just how about you just shut up? Just stop.
What they're really looking for, ladies, if I can be honest, is SpongeBob. They just want a sponge. But they can't find that, so you'll have to do. I hated that part. It made me want to die. I wrote in my comments, a sad face, because that's how I felt.
That's good.
And so he's like, all of this is great. I love Amy. She's perfect. She's great. And everything is different between her and I than with me and Beck. However, when she goes to the bathroom, I am just going to take her phone really quick.
Just no big deal. Totally trust her, for sure.
Yeah.
But
just gonna take her phone really quick. How did you...
No worries.
How did you feel about the fact that she was searching up Henderson?
I hate it. I guess we're all trying to figure out how, because it's like, it is like the season we just saw and will eventually become something like it, more so.
I guess.
At some point, right? Like, it has to, maybe, at least some way. But we're just, like, at a different timeline with that, with some slightly different people or whatever. So I guess it's weird to see things cross in, like, sort of right ways. Like, I know these people, but it's, like, a little different. Like, Amy Adam, whoa, it's not Candace.
Yeah,
it's a whole different person.
It's weird. It feels very alternate universe-y when things like that come across. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And he's like very much caught up in her phone, and then all of a sudden he looks up and Amy's standing there. And then he starts getting in this like whiny baby voice with her where she's like, just give me my phone and like knock that shit off. And he's like, Amy, I love you. I was literally just thinking about how happy I am with you. I love you. And she's like, well, like, you don't trust me. I get it. Like, I showed up with a fucking, like, stolen credit card. Like,
right.
I get it, but, like, just give me my fucking phone back.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess she seems okay with it. It was weird. It was a weird situation to happen there. Because I guess she doesn't seem pissed. And, very weird situation. And then it seems like in Joseph's head, after the whole situation happens, he continues to repeat all of the crimes that he's done.
He just is incriminating himself at every turn.
Yes.
And giving so many details. Being like, oh, this is my ex. She cheated on me with this therapist. Do you want to look him up? Do you want to see what he looks like? Do you want to see that he killed her? And I also am not on that Wikipedia page. Thank you for noticing. I'm not there. Because I definitely didn't do it. Thank you so much. It's like, what? Why? What is the purpose of this? Because it's not like Amy is like, oh, I'm being so open with you and we're really getting vulnerable or whatever. She is like, I'm not going to tell you anything about me. Like, you don't get to know me. Like, you don't know about my exes. We're just, like, having fun and we're hanging out and that's great. But you're not going to get anything below the surface here. And for some reason, Joe is like, oh, so that means I'm going to trust you with all my secrets.
Yep.
With all my murder secrets.
He's such a fool.
What
and I
a
love it a lot.
Idiot. How does he keep getting away with this? He's so silly.
I don't know. They end up going to their hotel, and because it's Joseph and he's a fool, they are essentially like right next to the Salingers.
Love that. He's gotta get his piss mug.
Exactly.
He's gotta get it.
And he's just like pacing on the balcony being like, I gotta get my piss mug. And Amy's
it's in there, I know it.
Amy's like, what's that, babe? And he's like, one of them over there, that's the Salingers. And so he starts like going into this huge thing. And she's like, anyways, I don't really care.
Right, here are more details that just, you can have them. Here you go.
Right.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Do we know how long ago Peach dying was relative to where we are in this moment?
That's a good question. I think I feel like
this is post Beck book and all that stuff, so it's probably been like a couple months, right?
It's been at least a couple months, yeah, because I think when the last book ended, the Blythe and Ethan were getting married, and Amy and Ethan, or Amy and Joe were leaving.
Yeah, right.
To go to LA, but now they're back. So I feel like in my brain, for some reason, it's been like 6 months.
Sure.
But I don't know that that's right at all.
So you're telling me that this fucking piss has just been fermenting for months.
Yep.
And so he was saying there are people in that house. The family's there. They're fucking vibing. They're having a party or whatever.
Oh, right.
I'm assuming they have like house cleaners and stuff. There's no reason. There's no way that's still there.
So in the book that happened in the winter, right? Because of all the snow.
Yes.
And now it's the summer. So it's been at least 6 months. And
someone has to have smelled it or something. Like,
For sure. Yeah,
unreal.
I agree.
Unfucking real.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, in the TV show, because the whole plot is different. Yeah, but in the book, I remember it being winter because it was there was snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now they're like, yeah, I agree, because this is like Memorial Day when this is happening in here.
What a wildly insane thing to write as the core component. Of your fucking mystery book.
The idea that someone has not noticed it at this point seems... the idea that there is not, like, staff taking care of this home that would not have noticed it at this point seems highly unlikely, if not impossible.
Yeah.
But, so chapter 4 starts. They're hitting the beach. I go into the beach, and they go down, and again, they're like, their hotel, I guess, is like right next to the Salinger's house, which, like, in my brain does not make sense. Like, if they had all this money, why would they be living in a place that's like right next to a hotel? But whatever. And all of a sudden, one of the Salingers comes down and is like yelling at Amy and Joseph, and he's like, sorry, this beach is private, so you need to be on the other side of the sand and you can go fuck off. And Amy is like, while she's talking to him, trying to put on like all of her smooth moves. So she's like taking off her shirt and like to show her swimsuit. She's like, oh, I'm like so sorry. Was there anything else that you wanted us to know? As she's like squeezing her boobs together. And he's like, fine, I guess. And the way that Caroline describes this is, it seems impossible that there is like this hotel and they have beachfront property, but the Salingers have all of the space for them to roam, and that there's like trampolines in the water, and that there's like it seems like an impossible situation happening here, because the way that it's described, did you ever see Cheaper by the Dozen too?
Of course.
The one with Taylor Lautner in it?
Of course.
To me, it felt like the fucking trampoline shit that they had on the lake, where it's those things that you jump on, and the ones that people are always dying on, like where you jump on them and it like launches people off.
Oh yeah.
So it just seemed impossible that they had what feels like a whole like resort situation right next to a hotel, and it did not seem to make sense. So Joseph had this original plan to go and steal his mug, that somehow he was gonna like schmooze his way into this house.
Yeah, so these people would just let strangers into their home to piss.
Yep.
Because my girlfriend is so charming, and she has just such good small talk.
Yep.
What universe are you living in, sir?
He schmoozed one of their cops before, so apparently he thinks that's gonna work. So he figures out that's not gonna work. And so they decide just to play in the ocean until they all leave. And then I'm very curious about your opinion on this part, about when she reads the children's book to him. Because it was the weirdest part to me.
Why it has no meaning to anything. I don't know why it's there.
Me either.
I hated reading it.
Yep.
And it just, it shows, it just really exposes that Joe is just a child and doesn't understand reading comprehension.
No.
For someone who loves books, little skeptical, little suspicious.
Yeah, and that, like, when Amy, after reading this children's book to him, was like, so what'd you think? And he was like, I'm gonna need to let it simmer a little bit more.
Must I always have thoughts prepared? Can't I just let it hit me? Like, Joe, this is written for 5-year-olds. Can you just, like, have a conversation, you fucking asswipe?
It would have helped, Joseph, if you were paying attention during it.
Yeah, if only you cared enough about your girlfriend to not think she is solely a sponge for your monologuing nonsense.
Yeah, it would have helped if you were listening to her reading instead of crashing 2 little pebbles together the entire time, or having a shell up to your ear and pretending like you could hear the ocean throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
But whatever, do you, I guess. So they get back to their hotel room, and Joseph says, we live here now, in this room, in these sheets, like a fucking John Mayer song come to life. So that's where Joseph's at. And again, he's having a great time. Throughout all of this, and I want to make this very clear to folks that are not reading along, Amy's just going along for the ride, and she's just getting sex out of, like,
right.
She's fine, like, she's having a good time, but Joseph is the one putting all of the work in during this time.
Yeah.
And that's very clear. This chapter takes a very interesting, like, Ocean's 8 twist when they go to, and I kid you not, Scuppers by the Bay. And I wanted to know about your opinions about Scuppers by the Bay. and their experience there.
I mean, you can't tell me that this isn't just like a Margaritaville.
Oh, it has to be.
Fucking rip-off situation, you know?
With the people that they meet here, this definitely feels like a fancy, like a faux fancy Margaritaville.
Right. With the accent, yeah, of course.
I don't know what just happened to me.
It is chaotic, this entire experience.
I agree.
Because first of all, Joe is like, I just want to fuck. I don't want to eat. I just want to fuck you because we're having a great time.
He wants to get, like, Domino's delivered.
Right, he's like, listen, we can eat and I can just, like, get takeout and I'll be sick. We'll just eat here and we'll fuck. It'll be so good. And she's like, no, we're going to go out and it's going to be great. He's like, fine, whatever. So they go out begrudgingly and they're like, oh, so your coupon definitely doesn't work today, so go fuck yourself. And also, the wait is an hour or two, also go fuck yourself. And Joe's like, can we go? I want to go fuck. And she's like, no, we're gonna have fun. And so they go up to this couple at the bar with fake names.
Yep.
And just charm the pants out of them. With which Joe fucking hates, because he's like, ugh, it's the banality of small talk and everything is, we're not saying anything, we're just like repeating the same stuff and it's all these jokes are silly and asinine and whatever. Being a piss baby, not having fun.
Well, and the fact that Amy made up not just fake names, but fake careers for them.
Oh, yeah. So they have little personalities, too.
And she said that he's an aspiring actor, which put him in a bad mood again, like a worse mood than he already was, because he was like, why not a director or a doctor? And so he was, like, already in a shitty mood.
Right. It's such a weird thing to be upset about.
It is.
But that's
it's very just...
Yeah, so they scam a fucking meal out of this nice couple. They, like, have a great time. And then the check comes, and they're like, peace. Bye. Later. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then they leave.
So bad. I felt so bad for this couple, even though they're probably, like, awful people. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I mean, they had to, like, scam them by talking about, like, fucking Woody Allen and shit.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this conversation, though, is Joseph is, like, squeezing Amy's thigh during all of this, and she's like, fuck off. Like, I'm scamming people. Like, I'm doing a job.
Yeah, I'm doing business, okay? I'm trying to get us a meal. God damn it.
She gets up out of the booth to request, because at this place, there's what Joseph describes as a, like, 2,000-piece cover band. And so Amy gets out of the booth to request a song from them. And she describes Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. And Joseph gets up and is like, Paradise City, huh? Guns N' Roses, like the first time when you welcomed me to the jungle. And her face is blank. She's like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
And the way that he takes this in his fucking rat brain, he's like, oh, I guess we're not as similar as we thought. I might just be a little bit smarter than her. She's a little slow to come up with things and get it or whatever. It's like, no, she gets it. You're just being an asshole.
Yeah, he's like, maybe it's better that we're a little bit different, though.
She's like, no, I don't want you fucking talking about how you think it's weird that I have pubic hair. And that's like a fun little Guns N' Roses joke. What? We're at dinner. Can we fucking chill?
Yeah,
Can we vibe?
He's not vibing, no.
He's not.
But they get home and they fuck a lot. They've been fucking a lot during this whole thing. And after she falls asleep, he goes back out and, very like Gatsby of him, he stares out at the fucking Salinger house and is like, you know what? Fuck that mug. I'm fine. I'm gonna leave it here, and it's definitely not gonna come back and bite me in the ass later.
Oh my gosh. Maybe the real green light at the end of the dock was the piss mugs we found along the way.
Was the yellow piss turning green all along?
Yeah. It's For sure some sort of funky color. Come on, it's oxidizing as shit over there for months.
Oh, for sure.
Gross.
Oh my god. Yeah, so next week we've got chapters 5 and 6. Assuming Shaboy hasn't died from the Newtons at that point. So
fingers crossed, everyone.
We'll keep you posted. But until then, we have a lot of fantastic patrons to thank at this point. So thank you, patrons. We have a fantastic article this week from the very credible and very reputable source of thethings.com.
Hell yeah.
Which says, according to fans, here's how the events of Twilight should have happened. Would you like to start?
Sure would. Shout out Rebecca Cullen. Snaps. Everyone snaps. Who's gonna be number 10? Witches, mermaids, and other mythical beings should have been introduced at some point.
Absolutely.
I want mermaids!
Absolutely. Like, that's such a cop-out.
Yeah, what the fuck, Stephanie? Expand your fucking brain a little bit. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Elizabeth Swann.
Woo! Yeah!
Who's gonna be arguably quite low on this list, number 14. Jacob.
Yeah.
Should never imprinted on Renesmee.
Number one. No thanks. Shout out Amy Taylor. Who's gonna be number 8? Bella should have spent more time with her mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a great photo that they chose of her too.
I know, she's like, I got the mail. You're gonna do things.
I got the mail. All right. Shout out to Mulch Gray.
Woo!
Who's gonna be number 7? Rosalie should have accepted Bella from the start.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Shout out Rebecca Steele. Who's gonna be number 4? Bella's parents should have spoken up more about Bella and Edward's high school wedding.
Absolutely.
Like, not a peep out of them.
Not a fucking sound from those two.
Yeah, they're in love. And they're young. And they're in high school.
Why didn't y'all want to... Charlie, why didn't you want to claim her as a dependent for a little bit longer, huh?
Yeah, hey, bud.
Shout out to Kelly Beck.
Ow.
Who's going to be number 3.
Ooh.
Jacob should have kept his long hair.
Yes.
What a... wow. I agree. Even though that wig would have been awful to stare at for so long.
The wig is bad.
But it would have been accurate.
Yeah. Shout out Taylor, Brown, Town, Lautner.
Absolutely.
Just pour one out for the Marines.
Yep.
And by the Marines, I mean just Taylor.
Yep.
Who's gonna be... Ooh. Let's do a little controversial one, shall we?
Yep.
Number 5. Jessica should have ended up with Mike Newton.
Wow.
I'm not saying. I agree. I'm just the people. The fans.
That is a controversial one.
The fans.
The fans. Wow. All right. Shout out to Aaron Salinger, who's gonna be number 11. The vampires should have revealed that they are actually fairies.
Yeah, why not? That's, it's far less confrontational, it's far less scary, it's more palatable to human beings, I think they'd be chill with it, A vampire's like, ooh.
Can someone please recut the scene in the forest during the first Twilight movie when Bella's like, I know what you are? Please, and also thank you. It is my last wish on this earth.
Yeah. Shout out to Sophia Salinger.
Thank you.
Who's gonna be a real tailspin. Number 12.
Yeah.
Bella should have given birth to twins.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And I just want to read, it's 3 sentences and they get increasingly more chaotic as they go on, so I'll read them for you. Bella Swan gave birth to her daughter, Renesmee, but a lot of Twilight fans wish that she'd given birth to twins instead. It would have been really interesting to see her have 2 children instead of 1. Bella nearly died during childbirth because the pregnancy was so difficult for her to get through, so she might as well have had twins.
So she might as well.
Why didn't you could have just had twins.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna die anyway, fuck.
Yeah.
Do you have a personal favorite from these?
Oh, God.
Because I will tell you that one of these really stands out to me.
Yeah.
And it's that number 1, which, like, it, like...
Can you read it for the class, please?
I can. Number 1 is Jasper... Thank you. Number 1 is Jasper Hale should have survived through the final battle of Breaking Dawn Part 2. Yeah. Which, if y'all fucking remember, was fake.
Yeah.
It was a vision.
There are two of these 15 examples are the thing that they should not have died. Like, there's one with Carlisle. It's like he should not have been decapitated in the final battle scene. Did you
watch the
movie? Do you remember?
Did you
what
read
happened?
the book? It wasn't real.
It's okay. They're fine.
Did you leave the theater when that happened?
They were just so emotionally scarred. They're like, that's it. Twilight, it's over for me. We're done. I can't do this anymore. And they don't know.
I will say that this photo, like, does something to me sexually.
You said sexually like it was in italics. Like that.
I meant it in italics. There's something about Ketchup Boy when he gets really angry.
Oh,
like
I forgot about that.
Like, there are so many different, like, wrinkles and divots on his face right now that, like...
Yeah. He's got a powerful eyebrow. His chin is really out here doing the work.
His chin looks like a golf ball, and, like, I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Anyways, these are powerful theories. They're wrong theories, but, like...
Yeah.
Some of them are wrong, but they're powerful.
Right.
I have a fan fiction for you today.
Thank God.
This fan fiction was sent in to us by our intern, so thank you, Taylor Browntown.
Shout out.
Water, for doing your work from home during this time. So this fan fiction was written by What's Happening.
Ooh.
You said that like the guy from Frozen. The fucking... the woohoo. The fucking... the dude who sells shit on the mountain.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay. Alright. So it's titled... and this really just like gets into it. This is just titled One Direction Twilight. But here's a twist. It's in the section... It's in the Twilight and iCarly crossover section, which, like, I don't know.
Help.
I agree. The summary for this is the best version of Twilight, the 1D version. This is my first fanfic, so be nice.
Don't be rude.
Hey, don't be fucking rude.
Knock it off.
And then it says, I will try to write at least 1 chapter per day. Fuck, dude.
Damn, that's an ambitious goal.
Now, I will say, there are 2 chapters. And
he swiftly passed away.
And this was published on May 1st of 2012. So
listen, God had to smite her for what she was doing.
So Godspeed.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all I know about this. And I'm going to read from chapter 1, which is moving. And I was told by Taylor to read just the third paragraph from this. I arrived to my house to see Charlie waiting for me outside in his uniform. He looks exactly... Oh, wait. Hold on. I fucked up. I'm sorry. I was told to also... This is the summary that Taylor gave to me as well. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Okay. So Taylor said... it's Twilight, but the only difference is that Jacob is Zayn Malik. That's the summary that she gave me. Okay, now, this is the third paragraph. I arrived to my house to see Charlie waiting for me outside in his uniform. He looks exactly as I remember. He is the police chief of Forks, but really, it is quite pointless considering the small population. As I get out of the cab, I notice that my dad is not the only one there. There is a boy that looks like a boy, that looks about 20, waiting beside a beat-up truck that I don't remember Charlie having the last time I was here. But forget the truck. This boy, he looked like nothing I had seen before. Tall, dark, and extremely handsome. Not to mention the body on him. My ovaries almost exploded right there. I don't understand why there is a sex god standing before me. End scene. Cody, my ovaries almost exploded.
On site.
On site.
And
we'll never get any more information because this was published 8 years ago.
That's it. And we'll never know. We'll never know.
And it was too good that they were smited.
Yeah.
Right there. You know how you come home, see your dad, fucking Zayn Malik from 2012? It is just there. You know that feel?
You ever just?
I don't just, but I did dream in 2012, so. Alright, well, take care. Wash your hands. And as we say in Seattle,
get bit.
And get whipped.
Ooh.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, who you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.